Hi everybody, Ellen here. Today I come to you guys to talk about the 10 books I want to read during 2018. And there are no rereads in this list because now it's all about the books I haven't read that I want to read. And as you may know, I have so many unread books on my shelves, so the books on this list are books I already do own. So yeah, I have 10 books I'm really looking forward to reading this year, so I think we should get to it. So the first book I want to read this year is Witchwood by Tyra, and this is her new middle grade book, and this is supposed to be a companion book to Furthermore, although you follow different characters, but I do really love Furthermore, so I'm really hoping I will like this one as well. And in this one we meet Lele, and her mother died a couple of years ago, and then her father pretty much lost his wits because of the grief. So Lele is left standing, and she's the one taking care of all the dead people, so she actually washes dead body for a living, and she definitely knows what loneliness is, and the more lonely she gets, the more silver her hair becomes, which you can also see in this picture, because look at that gorgeous cover. I think that's the most gorgeous cover I've ever seen. But after a while, Lele actually come across a few familiar strangers, and she's once again, you know, finds out about magic and friendship and the healing power friendship can have. This book is so beautiful, and I do really love Tyra writing style, so I do hope the inside is just as beautiful as the outside. And book number 2 on my list is Papperssjälar by Emma Johansson. And this one is about Amelia, and she's carrying a lot of secrets that she's just kept for herself, and it's finally starting to get to her, and she just wants to let all of it out. But when you do that, it's not always just you that are affected from all of the secrets you let out, but other people might be as well, which this can lead to like this big explosion really. And that's pretty much all I know about this book, but I've heard really great reviews of it, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. So book number 3 for my list is actually York, which is book 1 in the Shadow Cipher, and this one is written by Laura Ruby. It was 1798 when these Morningstar twins arrived in New York with a vision of this magnificent city with like skyscrapers and everything like that, but 57 years later the enigmatic architects disappeared, leaving the people of New York and the old York Cipher a puzzle laid into the shining city they constructed. And there's also promised, and at the end of this there was a promise a treasure beyond all imagining, but to the present day nobody's been able to solve this big puzzle, and therefore no one has claimed the treasure. But this is now a very big tourist attraction and stuff like that. But we also meet these twins. I think they're twins. No. We also meet Tess and Theo and their friend Jamie, and they do live in the Morningstar apartment, and it's not until the real estate developer announces that they're going to tear it down that they actually decide that they have to take it into their own hands. They have to solve the mystery to be able to save this building. So I mean, it does sound like this kind of big puzzle, sort of like Ready Player One, but like less of the video game parts maybe. I don't know, but it does sound really interesting, and I love puzzles and stuff like that. And it's also middle grade. It's very thick for being a middle grade, I feel like, so it's more like along with the Harry Potter books in the size of it. But I really do look forward to reading this, and hopefully I will like it. And then I want to read Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I do know that the sequel is supposed to come out in 2018 called Vengeful or something like that, and I do want to read this one because I love V.E. Schwab, and also I've heard really great things about this one. So in this one we meet Victor and Eli, and they're like best friends, go to the same university and everything like that. But one day, after a big mistake, they develop these magical powers, and shit changed definitely. And then we get to follow them a few years later, and they're no longer friends, they don't talk to each other anymore, and they're each of the characters like one are sort of on the good side and one sort of the more evil side kind of, and you know, they have to face each other once again. And I love superpowers, how could I not? So I'm definitely looking forward to this one, and I do hope that I will like it as much as everyone else seems to do. So yeah, let's keep our thumbs crossed for that. And then the next book I want to read is Out of the Easy by Rhoda Pettis, and I have read her two other books, Salt to the Sea and Between Shades of Grey, and I really like those books. So I definitely want to read the third book by her, and it's like the last book she has out at the moment, and I really want her to write something more, which is why I haven't really dived into this one yet, because when I have, there's nothing more to read. So I really do hope she comes out with another book soon. But this one, we meet Josie Moran, and she is locally known as the brothel prostitute's daughter, and she dreams about going to this elite college and fulfilling her dreams. But then there's some mysterious death that happens in this quarter, and that leaves Josie caught between her ambitions and the clandestine underworld. And New Orleans is definitely luring Josie deeper in as she searches for the truth, and temptation beckons at every turn. So that's pretty much all it says on the back, but I find it very intriguing, and I just think it would be a really quick read because all of Rhoda Pettis' books so far have really been quick reads, so I'm expecting this one to be as well. And then I also want to read The Valiant by Leslie Livingston, and I mean, look at that cover, it looks kick-ass as hell. Meet Fallon, and she's the daughter of this proud Celtic king, and she's also the sister of the legendary warrior called Sorcha, who also happens to be the sworn enemy of Julius Caesar. But when Fallon was a child, Caesar's armies invaded her homeland, and her beloved sister was killed in battle. Now on the eve of her 17th birthday, Fallon is eager to follow in her sister's footsteps and earn a place in the fearsome county warband. She never gets the chance. Fallon is captured and sold to an elite training school for female gladiators owned by none other than Julius Caesar. In a cruel twist of fate, the man who shattered Fallon's family might be her only hope of survival. Dum dum dum. I mean, how cool doesn't that sound like? And I also know that book 2, which I can't for the life of me remember the name of, but I do know that book 2 is supposed to come out quite soon. And the next book I want to read is Defy the Stars by Claudia Gray, and this one was the book that was in my try a chapter tag. So I have read the first chapter. I am currently on page 13, but since I did chose to read The Kiss of Deception after hearing that, I definitely want to dive into this one as well. And I mean, it's sci-fi, and I definitely want to read more sci-fi this year, because that's one of my, like, it's not official goal of mine this year, but it's like more of a mentally kind of thing I want to do it. We meet Naomi, and she is this soldier, and we also meet Abel, and he's sort of a machine. So people see him as an abomination. But then they come like this raiding party really from Earth, trying to take over the planet that Naomi comes from, and you know, because Earth is not doing very well, it's kind of dying, so they have to find somewhere else to colonize, to be able to have people living there, and they want to take over Naomi's planet, and that's not what she wants, of course, because she wants to keep her planet for herself and her people. And Abel is what's seen as this abomination, but because of a twist of fate, they actually have to work together to be able to, you know, save the day, pretty much. So I definitely look forward to continue reading this. I did really like the one chapter I've read so far, so yeah, I hope I will like this, and hopefully I will be able to read it very soon. So we also have Warcross by Marlou, and this one me and Jamie will actually bother read, hopefully very soon. So we meet Amika Chen, and she is this bounty hunter trying to stop people from betting on this game illegally, and the game is called Warcross, of course. And in the middle of the Warcross Championship, she accidentally glitched herself into this game to be able to stop some illegal activity, and she is caught, of course, and she thinks that she's going to be punished for it, but it turns out that the creator of this game actually wants her to use her skills and, you know, infiltrate the game and find out, to be able to uncover this big security problem. So she doesn't really have a choice since she did something illegal herself. So she takes on the mission, and it sounds really cool, and I look forward to reading about the game and everything like that. So yeah, I want to read it. So then we have Everlast by Sarah Holland, and this one takes place in the land of Sampera, and everything, you pay everything with time. and the rich one can live for a century while the poor one dies young. And we meet, what's her name? We meet Jules and her father, and they're really behind on their rent, which they have to pay for with time, of course. And her father is doing really, really poorly because he does not have a lot of time left, which means he's getting sicker because of it. And just because Jules doesn't want him to like bleed out all of the time he has left to be able to pay rent and everything like that, she actually takes up work at this grand estate at Everlast and of the cruel Girling family. I did love the movie called In Time, where it's also like time is a currency, which is also in this book, and I really like that kind of concept, so I have really, really high hopes for this one. So now we'll come to the 10th and last book I am definitely wanting to read this year, and that is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. And this book is actually the winner of the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction. 1 year it was. And I've heard so great things about it, and I really do love historical fiction, so hopefully I will get to this one very, very soon. But in this one we meet Mary Lore, and she's been blind since age 6, and the whole world is sort of built up by mazes and everything like that. So her father has actually built this kind of like a replica of the world outside, so she knows where everything is and everything, because it's an exact replica, so she's just able to feel her way and know where she is. The daughter, Mary and her father take refuge when the Nazis invade Paris, and in a future which she draws ever closer to this guy named Werner, who is a German orphan destined to labor in the mines until a broken radio fills his life with possibility and brings him to the notice of the Hitler Youth. So I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to reading this, but as always when it comes to books that takes place during the Second World War, I'm pretty sure it will be a very heart-wrenching story, because it always is, but I'm really, really looking forward to reading this, and hopefully I will be able to do so very soon. So yeah, those were the 10 books I'm aiming towards finishing during 2018, and since I'm actually out in very good time for making this video, there's a heck of a lot of months left in this year, so I definitely hope I will be able to finish all of these, because that's definitely a goal. But yeah, I do feel like I have a lot of good books on this list, and if you guys have read any of these books, please let me know down in the comments what you thought about them, without spoiling me, of course. But yeah, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give me some thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the little button down below, and also that little bell icon, don't forget to click that in, so that you're 100% sure that you get a notification for when I upload a new video. And yeah, I hope to see each other next time. Bye!